Okay, Coach, coming to you from the venue that hosted the Super Bowl back in February of '06. Welcome to Ford Field in downtown Detroit. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. They go play action. Cousins. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Right here, guys. Fight 51. Mike 51. It's just me and you. Leave it. Bring up 48. Switch wide. Come on, switch it.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
A 5-yard pickup on the play. And it's 3rd down.
Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. From the gun, here's Cousins. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well. Draw play, Cousins to Cook. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
What do you need? 50 wants the ball. They're not ready for this, man. They're not ready for this. They still playing soccer. Y'all playing the wrong football.
On second down, Cook. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10.
Check. Lucky 48.
Now a give running right, it's Cook. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Bang! Lucky 50.
On 2nd and 12, Cousins. And Diggs has it. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down.
Bring up 48. Hey, no, easy.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. He'll find Thielen working the middle. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Bryant now, after hitting the field goal, gets set to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
11.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Monday.
Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A gain of 13. It's a first down. A couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
Money. Hey, 22! Lady! You remember me? You remember me?
Now the former Terrapin, this is Ty Johnson. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Hey, 250! Watch it, Hey, come on, no, come on, no! Check, cross! Hey, 50! Cross!
On 2nd down, Johnson. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. A gain there of 21 yards. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time, that's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive.
Watch the slap. Watch the
Stafford on first down. He's got his tight end over the middle, T.J. Hockenson. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that'll open things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal.
Big 20.
Here's Stafford. That is caught at the 7-yard line. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal.
A gain of 5 yards brings up 3rd and goal.
Check, set, lady. Check, 55. Alert. Hey, watch your leg.
They'll try to run it in. Johnson. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. And the 13-year man puts it through, and that will tie us at 3-3. So matching field goals on our opening 2 drives.
Yeah, it feels like 2 boxers feeling each other out here in the early going of the game, right? Exchanging some jabs, but none of the heavy stuff just yet.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Third and short yardage. Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A first down for Minnesota. Cousins finding Thielen. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. Tackle made by the third-round pick out of Louisiana, Tracy Walker.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
On second down, it's Cook. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
Where's the hunt? 180! 52 the mic. Here we go, here we go. Set.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
9 yards. First down, Vikings.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
That's the way.
From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Come on, D.
On play action, Cousins. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Trey Flowers, the former Arkansas Razorback, in there to get him. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. Cousins now. And here is a leaping catch. He pulled it in. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 28.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
On first down, Cook. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings have taken the lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
And after the touchdown, here's Bryant now to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
At the 39-yard line.
So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. On the ground, this is Johnson. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
Ready? Down 20! Stay 50, stay 50. Hey, pick your game up. Hey, switch gears, switch gears. Check 50, check 50. Hey, exit.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Middle.
Throwing again. Stafford. His throw incomplete. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Stafford. It's caught. Jones. Stafford to Jones, enough for a Lion first down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half.
60. 32. Omaha, ready to move. Hey, Charlie.
On first down, Stafford here. Flush to his right. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Check safety. Switch.
To throw again, Stafford. The left side completion to Jones. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Again, it's Stafford. Looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hughes. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Not that time for Watkins.
At their own 19-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Go. Check 9. Leave it. Bring up 48. Watch Mike. Woo-hoo.
To throw, Cousins. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Just like that. Check 43.
Final play of the half. Cousins. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Lions take over 1st and 10.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. On the toss, here's Johnson. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Xavier Rhodes makes the tackle. They're losing here in the third quarter, maybe trying to get the ball outside, bust a big play. Obviously didn't work there.
Yeah, and while it didn't work, I really can't fault them for trying it. You and I have talked to the offensive coordinator, and we knew that was a place they wanted to try and go. And sometimes you just have to stick with it because 2-yard gains turn into 20-yard gains as the game goes along.
Well, Stafford, the Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Harrison Smith on the safety blitz, able to get the sack. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we've got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8 at the 35-yard line.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Cook. The tackle made there by Jared Davis. 2 yards on the first down carry and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on third down to keep the drive going.
It's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day. Begin. Two.
They just do get the playoff. Now Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Trey Flowers picks up his second sack. Of the afternoon. The Vikings send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This is taken at the 15. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
The 16-yard line.
Set, 280, 50-50. He can't hang. He's not getting
On 2nd and 9, Stafford looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
He goes, set, 280, 10, 10, 54. Right there.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Fighting him off. Stephon Diggs. Touchdown, Vikings. All told, it's a punt return of 74 yards. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Bryant's extra point up and good. And the lead is now 17-3. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Let's go, defense. Our time.
Go here.
Slam.
Throwing again. Stafford. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Danielle Hunter able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a third and long situation.
Hey, team six. Team six.
Out of the gun, Stafford. He gets it left side to Johnson. Well, they'll get 15, but that won't be nearly enough. It's fourth down. So it looks like the offense isn't going anywhere. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7. So they will go for it. Stafford. And this is incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position.
Mike, number 53. Mike, 53.
You ain't going nowhere.
Off the play fake, Cousins. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
You better be afraid of me. You better be afraid of me.
Now Cook running right. And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. Tyrann Mathieu there to make the tackle. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
Man, that's trash. That's trash.
Ringer, guys. Fight 51. Mike, two. We go.
Hey, wahoo!
So that'll back him up 5. Now they face a 3rd and 15 here following the delay of game.
Yellow.
51
Go.
You ain't doing nothing today. Mike 51.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And he's able to find Diggs. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
Now Cousins. And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Bryant now to tack on the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points.
Makes the score Vikings 24, Lions 3. Matt Bryant set to kick off.
And after the touchdown, here's Bryant now to kick it away.
Here we go.
25-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
Blue 60!
Right there, 54 Mike. I'm coming! Middle! Behind!
To throw again on 2nd down. Stafford. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
It's 3rd and 7.
The last catch did get 3, but they're still left needing 7 yards on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Stafford. And this is caught by Watkins. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A gain of 19 and picking up the first.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Drill right, 22!
A shotgun snap for Stafford. And Jones has it over the middle. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
A gain of 9 brings up 2nd and 1 at the 44-yard line.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Throwing again at Stafford. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. They end up getting stuffed twice after that 9-yard gain back on 1st down. They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Here we go on 4th. Stafford. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. Now a first down throw. Stafford. And his throw here's incomplete. Kenny Galladay, the intended receiver. And now it's second down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
32. Hey, Echo.
To throw again. Stafford. Completing it to the right side. Johnson. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. To the air again, Stafford. And that is incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Here's Stafford. And it is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th. And we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
They start the drive with Cook. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Watch twins.
Reno, 48.
From the 27, Cousins. Rush coming, and he's taken down. They couldn't contain Deshaun Hand that time as he gets home for the sack.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. It's taken to the 26. Good coverage there, an even 50-yard punt. Leads to a return of 5. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a 4th down try. but they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything, they may have gained more confidence. Okay, they stopped us once. That's all right. Let's keep moving it. Make them do it again.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. Johnson on the counter. He's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A big play on the ground there. It goes for 36 yards. They went with the nickel look defensively, so they had 5 defensive backs in there. Didn't help them stop the run.
Yeah, I love that, the nickel look. 5 cents, 5 DBs. But what also happens then, you take a big body off the field in order to insert that guy. So you're taking a big off for a little. And oftentimes you can run the football effectively against that defense.
And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Give him 30 yards there. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and goal as they look to punch in a late. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Josh Jacobs, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Lions are able to cut into this lead. Prater for the extra point. And that cuts the lead to 24-10. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. That's fielded in the end zone.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
The Lions will use the first of their timeouts, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down.
And the Vikings first down.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10.
Check, check. Fresno.
Cook. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here.
Tight end's right. 4 down.
Now a give, right side. It's Cook. And some room to maneuver. Past the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And after the touchdown, here's Bryant now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. To throw is Stafford. And that'll be incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Stafford. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
I think this one offensively, this is one where you just say, let's move on. Let's not even watch the game tapes from this one.
Yeah, you might just want to throw it in the trash, act like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, just say we're good. I actually have heard of a coach in the past who took his team out to the practice field and ceremonially buried the game films from the prior game when they got clobbered. That was his way of...
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Say hello to Eric Kendricks. He gets the sack there. Now it's Stafford. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the Lions' 39-yard line.
To Hunt, 180.